Oh, yeah.
You should
Too
just
late
write a
now.
script, and it should be something just like totally stupid and clearly written out, pre-planned, and then you repeat it every single time,
Yeah.
just more outrageously, more mocking of the fact that this is a pre-recorded script thing and how fucking sick of it people
And
think
that
it's.
should be the entire show.
Oh my god, could be.
Be better than the shit we put out.
It's hard for her to compute that anyone just wants to overhear me talking to people. I was re-explaining, like, it really is a show that people think is a show, and not just like a phone tap on strangers.
Right.
They're like, well, just in fact, yesterday I was getting gas at the gas station, and I was paying for it, and the woman, a beautiful young woman, brown hair and a black outfit, said, "Are you Jonathan Holmes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And it's usually not first and last name, so I figured we went to high school together, or maybe I went to high school with her parents or something. I had no idea what she was. She's like, "Oh, I listen to Podtoid every week." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend got me into it. You talk to him on Twitter sometimes." Her name is Elaney, I believe, like Elaine and then a Y at the end. Hopefully, I'm not remembering that wrong. And she cut out and took a picture of us and stuff like that. It was like a real thing she thought was important.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I love is that you were recognized for this.
Yes, physically.
Yeah. You see,
Yeah, our
I'd
first and last name.
I'd be jealous and furious if you were recognized for any of your actual achievements. That would piss me off. But that you're recognized for this, that this is seen as your principal achievement in life.
That's what she knows. Yeah.
Freaky Constantina.
Yo, motherfucker.
that is justice. That is
My,
just juice.
my first, the first thing I said was, "Why do you listen to Podtoid?" Like, kind of annoyed. And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's funny." Like she felt guilty, as she kind of should. It is just a weird, open eavesdropping. We just allow people to listen to us be friends.
Yeah.
But I'm very grateful to
I
her.
do hear that in most Catholic churches there is a separate confession booth just for Podtoid listeners. They just go in, sit down, the priest just goes, "Yeah, he knows," and then they're just allowed to leave.
It's a guilty pleasure for some. Though the fan, the strength of the fans' passion never been stronger.
Yeah.
Boy, are they passionate.
They're passionate people. They're passionate
Yeah,
about you, Jonathan.
sometimes.
Passion is infectious, and they share my passion for you. I'm not talking about sex,
Oh, good.
Jonathan.
That's good.
I'm not talking about sexual intercourse, Jonathan.
Oh, that too.
I'm
Good.
not talking about you and I nudie in a public bathroom stall,
Ugh.
whacking each other off while spitting in each other's mouths.
That's awful.
I know! It is terrible, Jonathan. Like,
Mm.
just, we're nude, we've taken our shirts off and just dropped them, and a bit of the shirts have fallen in the toilet bowl and gotten, like, wet. And our pants and underpants around our ankles, belts hurriedly undone. Really, like, desperately hurriedly undone. You can hear them tinkling. And we yank them down, right? And
This is
just
what we're not talking about.
yeah, this is what we're not talking about this week
Right.
on Podtoid.
Good.
And we just reach down, right, after trailing our finger from our chests, each other's chests, down in between the two tit bits, and down the middle, and down the belly button, and down the pubic journey
Mm.
to the end of the knobs, which touched the ends together a bit of the penises, and then grab the shaft of the penis,
The other's
each
penis, or
other's,
oh, okay.
and
So
gently at first.
mm,
We're not
good.
we're not
Sure.
cracking nuts.
Oh, okay, that's a relief. Good.
and
Noted.
then moving up and down the length of the tumescence until we semen on each other,
Mm.
on the top of the penis and down along the top, and hitting each other's pubic mounds, um, and then spitting in each other's mouths, as I said, just really hocking it up and gobbing, and missing most of it. A bit goes near the eye, and runs down the cheek in a rivulet, and then just lands a bit on the nipple, which, with a free hand, I rub around your areola, which makes it erect.
Oh, a wreck nipple too. In addition to the penis stuff you were talking about
It's
before.
something we're not talking about, yeah.
Yet?
Yeah, I said, sorry, cultural differences there. Yeah, I said, as in
Yeah.
affirmative. I'm affirming that we're not talking about mutual hand shanties in the public toilet of an Outback steakhouse, which would be one of the worst places to do it, I think.
I don't go there too often, but I don't know of it to be kind of a bastion of public homosexual acts. I don't know of it to be a place where that's fully accepted, or even
Yeah.
a little bit. How about that
Let's
place where they've got crunchy peanut shells all over the floor just to add rustic flavor?
Logan's Roadhouse. I was going to say
Oh,
that first, but actually, funnily enough, true story. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on Podtoid, but there's a local Logan's near our house with the peanuts on the floor and everything. And the public toilet, you go in one of the toilet stalls, if you want to do a poo or just a lazy sit down wee wee, and you go to lock it, and there are two locks on the inside of the cubicle stall, two deadbolts that go in. That, in my mind, is the only thing worse than finding no locks on the cubicle door. Because what the fuck is trying to get in all the time that you need two locks to keep it out?
yeah, that must be the bathroom where this Ted Bundy used to hang out,
Yeah, it
or
definitely.
Jason Voorhees, or someone
Yeah,
strong.
it's the bathroom in Alien 3 in the prison.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, where they need to stay holed up. Conrad, you sound cavey.
KB, is that better?
That's a little better. Am I
Yeah.
right about that, Jim? I didn't mean to be
I
wrong
I
about
I
sound.
thought Conrad had died, and we were hearing a ghost, and I didn't want to make him self-conscious about that.
Is that better?
That's actually far better. So
Okay.
you are
Yeah.
not
I just had to put my mouth on the microphone.
dead.
It's a
Not a big deal.
distance thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know it
That's good.
well.
That's been established.
Mm,
So as we were saying, Jonathan,
yes.
I have a passion for you the same way I have a passion for civilized philosophical discussions about the works of Nietzsche.
Yeah, really?
Except true.
What is it about your? It's I don't know. This could just be my age talking because I don't even really listen to podcasts at all, other than that Alec Baldwin one every once in a while. But people, and I've talked about this before, but I'm continually puzzled about it. Why do people like that you like me? They love just talking about it. I'll get like 10 tweets in a row from a guy just being like, you can stick your head inside of Jim's anus instead. We don't need to talk about your anus anymore. We can talk about you putting your head in his anus. Wouldn't that be great? Or like, I don't even want to listen to the show anymore. No more anus talk. Oh, come on. That's no fun. I want to hear about the anus. Like why they love it. They love thinking about you loving me. Why? Are there answers to these questions?
I think. Well, let's look at it this way, Jonathan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ill in the world.
Mm.
We're talking about the debt ceiling, okay? There's a fiscal cliff that Obama has driven us off in a school bus, laughing like Freddy in the end of Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge.
It's a good one.
He did it on purpose, did Obama, and he also did everything else in Freddy's Revenge. Lived inside a boy and then popped out of him and ruined a party for rich kids. He did this. He made the swimming pool go all boily and cook teenage kids while going, "You are my children now."
The Barack Obama did this. President
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
And that's America. Mitt Romney was robbed in an unfair, fraudulent election. There is still a war going on in Baghdad.
Yes.
Where bad things are happening.
Guacamole Bay is still open, and I am so infuriated by that.
And you see, stories like this of financial despair, of war, of Guacamole Bay, are bringing America down. And they often feel like there's no hope left. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. But for an hour to 2 hours a week, people can sit back, cross their legs, flop their chunguses out, put headphones on their ears, and listen to just guys having a good laugh together. And loving each other, all in each other. And then they know everything's going to be okay. One day, Obama will die. And Mitt Romney will be crowned king of America forever. And then it's going to be all right, because they knew that for a few hours a week, Jim Sterling was just having a good chuckle while thinking about tickling Jonathan's sly hovis.
What's a sly hovis?
It's yours, and it's very special.
Is that like the not the bearded clam? What is that other part people talk about? It's got something to do with folds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's your little foldy flumpers. And it's your specials. It's your special girl's secret that I would like to prise open and just draw in the smells.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
The smells? No one do people like those smells then?
Yeah.
Of the body?
Everybody likes your salty musk.
It's because I'm not attractive, right? Because it's funny to be attracted to someone who's not attracted, like calling the bald guy curly. Is that what it is? Did I figure it out finally?
I don't think so.
Ugh.
Because then it would be like Conrad hitting on me. It's the ultimate humor if that was the joke.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jim, you're a gentleman.
That I am.
And I find you to be charming, witty, very entertaining, but I wouldn't want to take our relationship to that level. I just value you too much as a friend, and I'm worried that it would ruin the relationship that we have.
Exactly. Me and Conrad respect each other as friends, and that's why we don't hit on each other.
I love that neither of us could get past that statement without.
Someone sent me fan art, I think it was last week, of you as a My Little Pony, again. This is not the first time this has happened.
I saw this one.
Having anal sex with me as a My Little Pony while you're like biting my ear and saying like, "Oh, my little chungus, finally your cherry red treasure trove has been penetrated by my prodding warrior fist," or something like that. And I was just like, why would you? Can you? What do you think I am? Do they think I'm going to look at this and be like, "Hey, good one. Yeah, My Little Pony, me getting anally entered by a buddy in My Little Pony form. Nice. I'm gonna print this one out." I mean, I'm not gonna smile or be happy.
That was my reaction.
I see.
I mean,
why do they even send it to me then? Yeah,
I'm as much a victim as
that was
you.
my reaction as well. I have to say, I would treasure and print that out.
It's fantastic. I don't know. Someone probably worked very hard on that.
I did. It was well drawn, and that's what I always think. I think these are talented, outgoing people. It takes a lot of. It's very outgoing to send erotic My Little Pony art to a stranger of them being anally assaulted.
Well, it's them giving themselves to you. It's very exposing to just throw your talent out there and say, "This is me. This is who I am. Take it or leave it." And we do that every week. We invite people into our lives with Podtoid, and I think it's people who just want to return that life given, life received. Let's keep the circulation going, guys. Good friends. I
feel like
also want it
yeah.
for the record. I want it known for the record that I, Jim Sterling, wise and clever and merciful man that I am, said no more anus talk on the
That's true.
Podtoid.
You did, and you haven't talked about it once.
And you, Jonathan, the anal serpent in the Garden of Eden, in our anal-free garden, have just squirted your a-hole all over the shrubs.
Oh, that would be so gross.
Damn right, we're stomping around on soggy brown grass
I'm sorry.
because you have squirted all kinds of mucky, muddy juice.
I feel like a Jackson Pollock right now.
Of poops? Of my poops? Jackson Poopslick?
Jackson Poopslick.
Yeah, Poopslick. Yeah, it took me a little while. I do apologize that I bring it up so often. I talk about how I don't want to
Well,
talk
it's just
about
you're
it.
positively obsessed with your own anus, and I don't think it's healthy.
I sure am not, but it is. You have to understand that. Well, you don't have to do anything, but I'd like you to understand that there's no other place I can go in my life to talk about how people constantly talk about me in a sexual, usually sexual victim of some way. Just constantly talk to me about it. It's not like I can go to my mom's house and be like, "Mom, you know what happened this week? More My Little Pony erotic fan fiction about me getting anally raped." She's not gonna.
You do have a wife. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
as
she's
though-
not really. No.
Yeah,
she's
my
not,
wife's always been really supportive of...
That it's not
Yeah.
that
She
she's not.
helped me. She helped me with Freaky Constantino last week.
It is
Similarly, my wife is very sympathetic towards your anal predicament.
It's just not interesting for other people to hear me talk about how I'm confused about.
I honestly don't understand that. I don't know why.
They're not interested. No.
I don't know why you couldn't have a class full of kids enthralled by Jonathan Holmes' anal story time.
You may be onto something here, Jib. This is an idea.
Yeah.
Nope. They're not.
Hey, Jonathan,
Mm-hmm.
hear me out.
Yeah.
You touring schools as Jonathan Holmes' anal storyteller.
What does that mean?
You just tell stories about your hole.
There's no good stories about it. It has
can write
gotten
several.
diaper rash before. If I during some sad times, not enough showers, got a little itchy, had to shower it, wash it up. That's the story.
Did you take the shower head off and give it like a direct blast, or did you just let it run down your fern gully?
Not that the details mattered that much, but just soap and water. It didn't need
Just
to get all weird in there.
Hand up the crack, like running it up.
That's one way of doing it. Yeah.
Or did you stand ass facing the water blast and then just pull them apart and let it hit?
I don't know if those details are
that
important.
Did you get a loofah and give it a good old hard scrub?
Ouch! Nah, I've never had to take that road. Luckily.
No.
But you want to exfoliate. It's really important.
Yeah.
Do you really? I don't.
You apply any salves or unguents?
Like a balm or
like a soothing balm stroke ointment on your little
No, just soap and water's fine.
On your little raisin.
I wash my body sometimes, including that part. That's my big story, guys.
Deep cleanse.
I don't know if the kids would be riveted. And I would not want to tell kids about, I wouldn't want to give them any ideas, which I'm probably right now.
I really would kill to watch you in a child's class, in an elementary school classroom, with all the kids gathered around. You're on a stall with a storybook, and you're just telling them how you shower.
That would be really...
First of all, I get the soap up in a really good lather, kids. And then I just rub it across my chest here like this. And then down here. Very good. Very important to wash the head as well, kids. Just keep it all clean. They got to be in your pants for all day long. And they get sweaty and sticky. And you want to make sure that you wear underwear that gets good separation there.
And the kids are just taking notes? Or...
Yeah. Take care of your testicles. Get water and soap all down your ass crack. Just to keep your little spotty raisin safe. Come on.
Come on. There are people who do that. There's that guy with the guitar. You know about him.
Yes.
Yes, he sings about it.
Oh.
All manner of topics. Vulva, you know. You know that guy, right? The Vulva guy?
No.
Oh, that's another story.
Is it you?
No, it is not me.
Are you Vulva Man? Is that your secret identity?
I am not.
Are you the acoustic vulva?
No, I am not. What's that guy? Forget it. No, I don't.
Go home to Bel Air. It's Pavlovan. You just have to, you say a line that sounds a bit like any line from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air theme tune, and then I have to complete it. Otherwise, I just feel bad, like I've almost sneezed and stopped.
People do love that song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say.
Anyway,
So,
Jonathan,
yeah.
I'm sick and tired of you not having had your quickening yet.
Yeah. Doesn't that mean me beheading one of the immortals and absorbing something from them? Lightning, I guess.
Kind
right?
of. Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
A bit. If we're going by the Christopher Lambert classic. But I've often thought of you as a Highlander, Jonathan. One of the immortals who can only be killed by having your head removed from your body. Mm-hmm. When I think of immortals, I'm thinking the Kurgan. I'm thinking Sean Connery.
Yeah.
And Christopher Lambert.
That guy from the show.
And you.
Adrian Paul,
thank you.
Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, that's fucking bullshit. Adrian Paul.
What? You don't like him, or you do like him?
No, I don't have a problem with him. I don't have a problem with the show. I don't have a problem with the first two movies. Okay, the first movie I don't have a problem with. Okay, maybe the whole thing's pretty awful. But I watched Highlander the other week with the wife, and because she'd never seen it, and I'm watching. I was like, wow, I was a teenager when I liked this. Ooh.
It's not so. It's got a certain Mad Max-ish kind of...
It's got great Queen music.
It does.
And I love Clancy Brown. I can't help but love Clancy Brown.
He is awesome, yeah.
He's the villain there, right?
Yeah. I particularly love the complete 180 his character does halfway through the film, where he's, the first half, serious, stoic, scary. Second half, late 80s Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, shaved head, just yelling at people.
Incredibly goofy.
Yeah. Good times. Yeah. Well, they had to spice it up.
It's like he just went from being Darth Vader to Beetlejuice in the span of a day.
That'd be a good one to do on your new show, maybe.
That's
Does that really need to be defended, though, Highlander?
That last guy he took the power of, it really did something to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
He was holding something weird in him.
Yeah, I don't. The quickening is a mystery. We don't know how it affects people.
It's a kind of magic.
Yeah. And I think we'll get to see our own quickening when you behead a dog, Jonathan.
I like dogs. All of them.
You will especially love the one that gives you magic powers.
From me... Is it already dead, at least?
No, it's very alive, maybe yours.
That's a mean idea.
It's not a mean idea.
Mm.
It's not, it's you or the dog. The dog will do it to you if you
Right,
don't
that's
do
the
it to
thing.
the dog.
In the middle of the night, you're gonna wake up, and that KK Slider's gonna be standing over you with a katana in his mouth, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, we're giving you the opportunity to get the jump on this, because he's gonna figure it out eventually on his own.
And it'll go, "Hey, Tom." They all sound like Spike from Tom and Jerry. "That could be only one." And then it cuts your head off.
That might be. I might let my dog kill me if I had to choose.
Nah, not really, because we will make sure you take that dog's head off. It's gonna be great. You're gonna get I don't know, a bread knife and saw the dog's head off. Conrad can sit on it and keep it pinned down. Meanwhile, I'm in the other room with a strobe light in the doorway so that when its head finally hits the floor, I'll turn on the strobe light and then you can stand up and go, "Ah!" And then we'll spray whipped cream in your mouth. And that's
What?
you absorbing all the magic.
From my poor, cute, small, harmless, relatively defenseless dog.
Beheaded. Beheaded.
Is it
Squirting.
is it a beloved dog though, or is it the Kurgan?
I
There's
love the
no
dog.
way of knowing.
My dog can be a pain in the butt. Everybody can,
Are you sure it's not Clancy Brown in disguise?
It's really smaller than most cats, this dog. It is a small dog.
It might have
Fat.
a bomb inside it. It might have a bomb that's scheduled to go off after it's had a certain amount of dog foods.
She,
There's no way of knowing. Jonathan, there is literally no way of saying for sure that dog isn't actually a bomb dog.
That she were a dog bomb dog. I would just let her live until she blew us up, I guess.
That's madness.
I like the dog.
That's insane. It'll blow up your house. You're immortal, so you'll be fine. You'll have nowhere to live. Have you thought about that?
I'm not immortal at all.
You can come and live with me,
Oh, thanks.
but you'll have to pay the rent. the rent boy's rent.
The rent boy's rent, which is different from your rent. I would guess.
Yeah, it's different from regular type rent. There may be a toilet stall involved and a mutual handy shandy.
At the Longhorn Steakhouse or Outback?
It can be Longhorn if you want. It'll be a very long horn if you're in there. Do you get that?
I think so.
Did you understand that?
Someone's penis is long, I guess.
Longhorn, yeah.
Yeah, people like a penis, I guess. It's a mystery to me. Just looks like a kind of a mistake.
If only my wife were one of them.
Whoa!
You are slowly becoming the
What, a Catskills comedian? What?
No, better than that. Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey.
Destructoid. He's good.
I had Rodney Dangerfield on the sidebar of my profile on Destructoid since I registered for the site.
Are you serious?
I'm absolutely serious.
I'm onto something. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rodney.
Me too.
You're
A
up.
certain everyman charm. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Someone on Twitter just suddenly said, "Jonathan, goddammit, next time Jim tries to talk over you, you interrupt him. Don't let him tell you what to do." Today. Isn't it weird how passionate people are about a relationship? And I said, if I do what you tell me what to do, then I'm just doing what you're telling me what to do instead of... It's a sad irony, you see.
Yeah.
You can't
pay no attention to him.
I did. Do I seem that passive? And
I'm looking after you.
Yeah, we're buddies.
Yeah.
You just got a weird way of showing it.
Block everyone on Twitter.
I've never blocked
everyone on Twitter except for me.
I don't even know how to block someone on Twitter. I've been lucky enough that I've never had to try too hard because I get along with everybody pretty well. Though I've been grouchy this week. If you follow me on Twitter, I apologize. It's been stressful. Didn't mean to be a grouch. Sorry.
Tell you what, me and the block button are very good friends on Twitter. It's my favourite thing on the internet.
Oh yeah, somebody... Chunky something. said, "Can you please ask Jim to unblock me on Twitter? I'm sorry, I was an asshole," or something. I think his name is Chunky's Face.
Yeah.
So think about that. Yeah,
I
Chunky
have no
Face.
idea who that is.
I should know. I don't.
Nobody is really mean to me on Twitter, I think, ever. Every once in a while, I'll see someone who's like a dick in some comments somewhere or other. And I find that in most circumstances, if you just sort of publicly shame them for being assholes, they realize that they're assholes, and you don't have to block them. You know, they just... And then if they demonstrate the behavior a second time, you know exactly who the hell they are. And then you block them.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. And some people who have been very mean to me initially, after I talked to them about how they're expressing their anger in a maladaptive way, then they, a few months later, start sending me tweets like, "Hey, life's turning around for me. Thanks for pointing out that I was being mean that one time. Now I'm feeling a lot better." So it's weird. This whole internet thing's pretty weird, as you guys know.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about video games yet, though?
Huh?
Do you want to talk about video games? There's so much that happened.
What?
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, let's Jonathan,
Yeah?
talk about video games.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, why not?
Which ones?
All of them.
Awesome. Yeah.
Shall we start
Yeah.
with Pokemon XXX and YYY?
Let's talk about Pokemon X and Y. That was a big announcement. I woke up early. I thought I would be earliest to write the news, but I missed it by like 7 minutes.
Yeah, I was hoping someone would be up. I would have left it, but I got a phone call from the PR people the day before who seemed really eager that we do it, and I'm like, well, I better make sure it's done. I got up and it had been up for half hour, so I thought, well, I better get it done. I rushed it. I didn't mean to steal anyone's thunder.
Oh, not at all. I'm glad it got up. That's what counted. But if you hadn't, I would have been there because I was excited. I actually had like a weird dream about it because the night before, everyone was sending me the links to the leak, which was it was going to be Pokemon Rainbow, which was a combination of Pokemon generations 1 through 4, and there was all these like finite details about it. Like Eevee's going to have a new evolution where she turns into a dragon, and I had all these weird nightmares about how much I wouldn't like that. And so I was filled with suspense, and I got up and saw, oh, a new Pokemon. Then I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, looks okay. I'll get it.
Yeah, now you're not happy about it.
No, I'm sad about it.
Because
it is, yeah.
Because whereas the human being's reaction to it is, oh, that looks pretty, the Jonathan Holmes' reaction to it is something else.
All right. So we've already started on this.
I'm joking, Jonathan.
Yeah.
That was friendly.
It wasn't going to take any time.
That was friendly ribbing from me. You mad wrong person.
Jim, it's like this. I'm going to explain it to you in a way
Please.
that hopefully you won't take as contrarian or conflict hungry, because I don't want to fight. I don't care who's wrong or right. I'm like Tina Turner in that way. Picture if you liked Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Do you like Led Zeppelin, you guys? You too, Conrad.
No.
Just know that regarding what you said, I'm preparing to be the Ike in this relationship.
Not surprised. So you like Led Zeppelin, and you like their lead singer, Robert Plant.
Hey, who doesn't?
Major part. He's the face of the band. He doesn't write the songs necessarily, but he performs them, and the way he performs them has a large effect on how they come across to you. So he's not the Jimmy Page, but he's still very important. And then they're like, "Hey, you guys, Led Zeppelin. They're doing a new version of Kashmir." You're like, "Awesome! I love Kashmir." That's the one that's like, da, 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 da. It's so good. And then you listen to it. You finally got the new version of Kashmir, which is also tied to this awesome new movie that's a remake of Godzilla, something you love. You love Godzilla, right? Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love Godzilla? Then you see the Godzilla, and you're like, that's not Godzilla. That's like a giant iguana thing that's kind of like Godzilla. And then you hear the new Kashmir, and Puff Daddy. You have Puff Daddy. You don't have Robert Plant. You have Puff Daddy going, I cry tears of sorrow. I die. And you think, I can't help but be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
As the front man I like, the look of Godzilla I like, they're both gone. And in place, there's a thing that's a replication of that thing that's not the same thing. And sure, Puff Daddy fans are freaking through the roof. They love it. And giant iguana fans are freaking out by how awesome this new giant iguana movie is.
Yeah.
But people who like Godzilla and Robert Plant, a little disappointed.
Let's just get this one query out of the way early.
Mhm.
Is this because Pikachu's hair isn't white?
It's because is Pikachu's hair normally white?
Move on.
A major aspect of all the main series Pokemon games has always been the art, which looks like the illustrations by Ken Sugimori,
Yeah.
one of my favorite illustrators. Now you have polygon-based graphics that look PS2 era. And the backgrounds look it's generous to call the backgrounds in this game PS2 era. Some of them look really PS1-ish. So kind of the dark ages of polygons for me. Kind of some of the ugliest polygons going is PS1 era. Replacing what used to be a beautiful sprite-based world that was at least attempting to give you the same feel as those illustrations. Now there's janky polygon edges and anti-aliasing problems, and so yeah, looks worse.
Yeah,
But-
I can't be made to care. I can't. I cannot be made to care about that. That is like, I mean, okay, like, it's complaining about what is to me the most insignificant feature of Pokemon, and what has continued to be the most insignificant feature of Pokemon for the last 10 years is its
the
visuals.
graphics?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. They're
That's the
all
only-
representations. I turn off the animations. If it could just be a text game, I'd probably be okay with that. Because it's about the interrelationships of building an effective team, and you can have a little story. I don't care how it looks, really. Like, they couldn't make it look more low res than it already did. Like, it wasn't going to become any more simplistic. And so, yes, it can be a little more complex, and as long as the change in graphics doesn't prevent me from like playing the game and getting that mechanics interplay, doesn't matter. I don't care. I may even turn the animations on and look at them if they're pretty, but probably not.
Yeah.
The thing for me
Yeah.
is it's not Suikoden Tia Chris,
I don't know much about that.
which was a Suikoden game on the DS. Great game, and is the absolute worst of polygon graphics on a Nintendo handheld. Visually hideous. Still fantastic game. Love it. And anything that looks better than that now, I'm fine with. And I'm fine with this. I mean, I'll meet you some of the way. As far as the overworld goes, okay. It's not great. I don't, like Conrad, I don't find it too problematic. It's nothing I'm upset about, but I will agree that it doesn't look that fantastic. But then the battle stuff, I love the look of.
Oh yeah.
It's got that quasi-cell shading thing going on, which in my opinion always looks good. And that's where it matters for me. The overworld stuff, I never really cared how that looked. But I was always a bit disappointed that the battles, they always seemed a bit flat. I'm kind of the opposite of Conrad in that whereas Conrad would be happy with it just being text and stats, I like Pokemon for the world, the visual design of the characters, of the Pokemon especially, and whatnot. And that's what I sort of enjoy it the most for. So I love the fact that the battles actually seem more alive now, and it's not just two sprites flashing at each other. So I'm really happy with that. I find it difficult to be upset with at least the battle side of the graphics, because that looks really pretty to me.
Well, to me, that's like you just said. I like rap music, therefore I like Puff Daddy's version of Kashmir more than Led Zeppelin's. Fair enough. But
I'm not gonna condemn you for caring about that. It's not.
it's not something I can bring myself to care about at all. It's sorry.
The thing is, though, I really don't agree with your music analogy, because you're talking about like complete genre shifts that change the art.
Yeah.
It's not. We're talking like
I was
the polygon
thinking
shift is aesthetic.
When you were making that comparison, you were doing the whole Godzilla and Kashmir thing. I was thinking Van Halen. You know, it's the
I've
difference
talked about that
between Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth versus Eddie Van Halen and who was that asshole? Who
Gary
can't drive within a reasonable speed limit?
Yeah, Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar. There we go. Yeah, there you go. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think the distinction you're drawing between Led Zeppelin and Puff Daddy is way too extreme, because that's changing the entire genre, the entire style of music, and
well, the music is the same.
It's the same game. It's aesthetically different. And
at the same time, though, I think that demonstrates the level of value that Holmes puts on the visual aesthetic, and in it being something that's pleasing to his specific tastes. The sprite art as it exists is really pretty. I mean, can you think of sprite art being done much better in the last decade in terms of really clearly defining the characters while maintaining a low resolution and
not that many characters too. There were 649 different. Because as someone who loves sprite art, I want to collect. I mean, I download sprite art and save it in a little folder and just like stare at it sometimes, specifically by like Paul Robertson or Paul Veer and Joachim Sandberg.
So whereas a normal person, a sane, rational person who applies a moderate level of interest to all things would probably take the Van Halen analogy. The shift is so dramatic for Holmes because it's an area of his particular focus and interest that's being so dramatically affected.
Yeah, like Jim said, like Jim, I love the designs of the characters, and to see them rendered in a way that's just way worse for me. Like it is a genre shift. Like to me, sprite art is a genre like singing. And polygon-based art is it's using your mouth and making a sound and being a frontman in the same way, but it sounds totally different. It's rapping. Polygons is just rapping, and I kind of like rap sometimes, but very specific instances when I can get into rap. A lot of polygon art I just think looks awful. I've been I still for instance, Anarchy Reigns just came out. If that looked like Mad World, I would have bought it day one, but instead it doesn't. It's not even kind of trying to look like Mad World. It's embracing a fully polygon-based look, and I was like, I'll get it.
Trying to look like God Hand?
Maybe, or Bayonetta and Vanquish. It's trying to look like a lot of things all at the same time. If you look at a still screenshot of Mad World, it looked like a drawing, and I thought it looked great. If you look at
a really, I don't want to get away from this too far, but this is a really good example of the balance that's present in these three individuals.
Yeah, we are different guys, aren't we?
Because here you are with you're interested in a graphical approach that is probably, I don't want to say anti-realistic, but that's definitely not a focus of yours. You want, things that are
I like surrealist, abstract.
Original.
Yeah. I
yeah.
like to. My favorite thing is that distance between reality and fantasy, and getting in between that distance, and that's where the fun happens for me. To believe that a sprite is a real thing.
I don't want to speak for Jim, but I think that Jim probably does care more about how things look, whether they're it's crisp or clean, or I don't want to say you're technical, but you prefer a little more realism, right, Jim?
I wouldn't go that far. I love cel shaded games, especially.
Right.
I'd say that Viva Pinata is the best looking game of this generation. So I wouldn't say realism's important to me so much as just so long as it's got a very clear art style, something that stands out and really sort of makes good use of itself. That's what I'm into. You know, I love.
So I'm writing a text adventure right now.
Whoa, that's cool.
That's where we are. There's the spec.
Yeah, Jim has laughed at my opinion about graphics.
I've
Remember when I
laughed
said
a
I thought
bit.
Metal Slug was one of the best looking games ever? And you were like, what? Well, you didn't act like that because you never act like
I
that.
don't think
but
I
you-
was that incredulous. It was
You
just
were-
I think I was interested by it.
Is
I
that
think
right?
it is a spectacular.
I can't remember.
I think,
I may have been
think
wrong.
it is probably one of the best examples of sprite art and animation ever put into a video game.
Yeah, I would be overjoyed. That's what I would have loved the next Pokemon game to look like was Metal Slug 3. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, finally, Pokemon's doing something new." Makes me
No,
so.
they aren't. But they aren't really doing anything new.
They're doing something that's not new. Polygon-based graphics are not new. It's new to Pokemon, but it's a sidestep as opposed to an evolution, in my opinion. It's trying something that other series have already tried and done okay with. But to say finally they're doing something new totally overlooks the fact that the last Pokemon game that came out had a Pokemon Black and White. The first in that series anyway, had fully animated sprites for the first time. It only had new Pokemon that you would catch for the entire game. So it was the newest feeling Pokemon I'd really ever played. And this one, they're going back to all the old designs again and just showing off the fact that they look like polygons now, which we've already had before. And all those GameCube Pokemon games were all polygon based anyway. So it's not even new from that perspective either. It's just,
No. You make a Zelda-type action-adventure RPG using Pokemon. That's new.
That would be new.
They could have made 500 new Pokemon and made the same fucking game they've made for the last 15 years, and it would still be the same fucking game.
If what you're playing it for is, mostly what you talked about, Conrad, if you played mostly for the mechanics and the battle.
The game aspect of it. Now, I
That
mean,
is
there are perfectly reasonable reasons to enjoy and appreciate the other elements to it, and I get that. That's fine. But
as someone who just loves the character design, I freaked out when Pokemon Black.
Right,
like
right. Buy a
150
poster.
new character designs. I was like,
Hey, $10 for a poster. There you go.
That's true.
That's
but I also
not a
have the
$40
poster.
game to me.
But I wanted the poster and the game, and just look at them in the game and be like, I got them. It's art collecting the game for me. I just want to catch those little designs and love them, just have them. It's weird, I know.
I don't know if we've ever spoken about this before. I've
Yeah.
got this feeling we may have.
Yeah.
But what was your reaction to like the N64 and like Mario 64?
I hated it so much.
It seems familiar. I'm sure we've had this conversation, but
I've
it
talked
does
about
interest
many
me.
times. I bring it up a lot when people say, "Oh, Holmes, you just pray to the church of Nintendo. Everything Nintendo does, it doesn't matter if they screw up. You always think it's fine." I bring up repeatedly that there's many times when I thought Nintendo completely sucked and they were my least favorite developer, and that may happen again. I'm liking the Wii U so far, but from what I'm hearing about what Valve may be planning for some kind of home console, I would quickly drop the Wii U as my main console of choice if I could play Steam on my TV easily with a nice controller. Yeah, I would pass on the Wii U in a heartbeat. Yeah, I hope so. Steam's definitely my favorite place for games because there's so many awesome sprite-based games on there as part of it. I love that art style. But anyway, yeah, N64 is my least favorite console of all time. I even like the Atari Jaguar more and the 3DO. 3DO at least had a really good version of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And Jaguar is just funny. But N64 is just a garbage heap. It's the worst. It's like, what, 6 good games on it, maybe?
Conker's Bad Fur Day, Mischief Makers.
That's 2.
Mario Party.
I liked Dr. Mario on there, and I liked Star Fox a lot, and I like Majora's Mask. It took me a while to warm up to it, but that's a great game. That's a good game. But the rest, Mario 64.
DK Country 64.
Oh, I hate that game. Oh, it makes me want to throw up just thinking about it. Oh, the Lanky Kong graphics. And just being in a big place, like, do whatever you want in a place as a monkey. No. Oh, God. But playing that game seriously hurts. Mario 64, I've tried playing it so many
I
times.
can't play that. I hate
can't
that
play it.
game.
Me too.
And every platform I've played it on, like it
Yeah,
came
me
out
too.
for DS, and I was like,
Got
I'll
it
give
on the
this another
DS.
try. And I
Me
made
too.
it through that first stage with the hill, and I got to the top of the hill, and I killed a big bomb, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done. Done.
I tried it on the DS. At least you could play as Yoshi, and the graphics are a little better. And I tried, and I just
save files all over on these different platforms with 3 stars.
yeah, it's so boring. Me too. And
I
Ocarina
always
of Time,
get-
I'm yet to get through that.
On Mario 64, I get as far as the lava levels, and the lava levels are where it really falls apart. Like, it really shows its age and just how it struggled with the camera and the controls. And because, there are so many finicky jumps and lava everywhere. So it's not like the early stages where there aren't really many things to fall down and die through misjumping.
Sure.
But, God, just still the images of Mario bouncing on lava holding his ass, going, "Ow!" Just, ugh. Infuriating.
And it couldn't just be dead either. No, fucker had to keep bouncing.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Holmes. I think, there's a fucking van backing up outside my window.
It's the daily
That's great.
van. Yeah,
It's the daily van. Well, the last one I managed to have the microphone muted. I saw they were coming. I was like, oh shit, but now I'm talking, it's too late. But no, I agree with you. The Nintendo 64 was for me, well, it was a tipping point in a lot of ways. It was showing me that a lot of the frustration and annoyance that I was having with PC gaming at the time, in terms of every game that you bought had to be patched, and the distribution wasn't great yet for patches. It's not, internet wasn't awesome like it is now. And so getting patches was a pain in the ass. And so I was kind of getting annoyed and frustrated with keeping up with the PC scene. And then here consoles are coming along, and they're making games that I kind of like to play on my PC, but they're coming out on consoles. And
Sure.
that was a cool thing. But the N64 is also the first console where Nintendo made the shift from, sprites to polygons and pushed the polygon 3D thing, and I hated it. Because I did think it was ugly, and I wasn't happy with the design. I wasn't happy with playing the games that I was familiar with in 2D, and then having to play them in 3D and realizing that they're not as much fun in 3D. It was really frustrating for me.
That's quite validating. Thank you. I felt so alone.
No, you're absolutely not alone. And even still, like games like GoldenEye, I was playing a lot of Quake. And I would look at GoldenEye and think, wow, this is really pedestrian. And these aren't there yet. Like, the next console generation will probably have adequate shooters. And I was at college at the time, and I'm seeing all these friends of mine in the dorm, and they're all huddled around the television playing GoldenEye, and I'm like, I don't get it. You're operating in 1/4 of a 13-inch television. Why?
Yeah, I still don't. GoldenEye is literally everything I don't like about video games in one game. It's like a movie tie-in to a movie series that, there's occasionally a good James Bond movie, but on the whole, the character is just a douche, and I don't like him at all. He's just he's awful. And it's just shooting your friends. And the graphics are terrible. And it's just, ugh. The music's all right. Yeah, GoldenEye's everything I hate. It's definitely one of my least favorite games, if not my least favorite.
And yet, it manages, again, to be one of those prime examples of a shift in the industry, where we see a successful console first-person shooter with a focus on multiplayer. The only thing it's lacking is online. That N64 GoldenEye. It's the only thing that's missing from that sort of formula.
That shift.
That we see games developed now, where the single player campaign is okay, but the real focus is on the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. It was the precursor to what Halo did on the Xbox in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about video games. Good. I think where'd Jim go?
I'm here.
Oh, good.
I've been listening. I don't like to cut in when you go on a tangent.
Oh,
It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It clings to the pretension that we're a video game podcast, which I like.
Yeah, there's some of that.
Yeah, we're doing
Did
good.
anything else happen though? CES happened.
CES happened. I didn't see too much news coming out of it outside of the. I mean, there was the Steam Box, and Nvidia had some stuff to show. Most notably, the Project Shield that they're doing. That
Well, and then
we.
there's that Lenovo tablet that's like 27 inches for designed for coffee tables. I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess they're competing with the larger scale Surface designs, which seems like a dumb idea. Like that's just an impractical size to me. It's not large enough to function as a table, but it's not small enough to function as something you carry around with you. I would really like to see them develop a tablet that's say 32 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then and give me the option of putting legs on it. Then we can talk. But that 27 inch doesn't do it for me.
I saw a video of a giant TV that you need to have in your backyard. That
No, I don't.
comes. It comes. You can't put it in your house because it comes out of the ground like a missile launch. It slowly comes out of the ground and it unfolds. It's made by Porsche. It takes like 5 minutes to unfold, and then if you want to watch it, you need to get lawn chairs.
I'll buy it
This is
for
a thing.
$30.
And it's literally made by the expensive car maker Porsche. You can look it up. It's a funny video. It's a real thing someone's gonna buy for I don't know,
A hotel in
$10,000.
Dubai. They're gonna buy it for a hotel in Dubai.
Yeah, probably something like that. Oh, and Jim Sterling, you recorded voice acting that may be used in Teenage Pokemon. It's exciting for me. I want to tell everyone that you did that. Thanks for doing that, Jim.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah! What fine acting it is, too. I finally got to hear it today. You sent it to me yesterday, but yesterday was a bad day. But today, I got to hear it. You're a fine actor.
I am the world's best actor.
They've already edited it into the episode, but I haven't heard it yet. So maybe you might have to record something. The sound. There's an Australian man named Aiden who suddenly was like, "I'm going to help you edit the sound together." And I'm doing so many things at one time right now. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then there's another guy helping me with the sound named Christopher. He's a great guy too. So I've got two guys helping me with the thing. So I haven't even heard how it turned out yet.
Wait, Chris Rumor?
Yeah, good old
Yeah,
Chris.
he's editing
Moore.
Office Chat for us now too.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. We have all these
he's real
helpers
good.
that just suddenly want to be involved in our lives and make us not suffer. So thank you, both of you. So yeah, you might have to re-record a line, he said, Jim, because it doesn't quite fit or something. But I'll let you know.
How dare you?
But it's scary. It's a real animation project. So the sound probably should have already been done days ago because the animators, it takes them like a month to do it, and they have to sync the mouth to the sound of the mouth, the talk from the mouth hole.
Yeah, I guess
So
you
we
got to
gotta
do
get
their
your mouth
voices first.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, I've got 3 episodes recorded.
See, I'm interested in all this because I completed a script for a potential animation project of my own yesterday.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Gave it to my script editor friend, who actually knows how to make things look like real scripts,
Oh yeah.
rather than the puerile drivel that I just hammered out while drawing. So it looks all professional. And
Exciting.
yeah, I'm not thinking of taking this one straight to the internet.
You're thinking of taking it to the television?
Maybe somewhere like that. Very, very ambitious for it. You know, might just end up on the internet, but gotta try and see what you can do.
Well, the internet, it's so I'm so old that I am just realizing this now. But like a Ego Raptor cartoon, for instance, he's pretty good. His animation's pretty good. There's more work that went into a lot of his recent stuff than like an episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, 15 minutes. That can be done by they do the voice acting, they give it to the animator, and 3 days later, he's done because the mouth moved and he just walked the character over. What I'm trying to say is that TV animation can be cheaper and easier to get it on if it's on. It might be easier to get something on Adult Swim than it would be a bigger website like Game Trailers or something, or The Escapists, which you're already on. They're more discerning, so I'm told.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'll find out.
I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah. I'm working on a project. It's probably the most ambitious project I've been working on, and yeah, I've had people look at the script and they really liked it. Apparently, it's very funny even on paper. So
Oh, cool.
hopefully,
so it's a comedy script.
yeah. So hopefully, when we actually record and get it up and get a visual pilot, it'll be even funnier. I hope. But yeah, that's just something I'm working on.
Awesome.
It is.
Let me know if you
Yeah.
need to know artists or something. You
Yeah.
probably know all the artists already.
I got some people working
You know
on
all?
concept art and stuff at the moment, so we'll see. It is one of the 1% of ideas that actually leaves my brain. Usually they don't. They usually stay in there, and I'm too scared to do anything with them. But I rolled the dice on this one, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about now? We got all serious and talking about our projects and our feelings about them.
Well, we were talking about pitching things,
Oh, yeah, true.
and there's something I would like to pitch to the Podtoid listeners.
Yeah? What's
Starring Willem Dafoe.
that? Oh, that's good.
It's an idea for a film.
What is it?
I'm glad you asked. It's called Ass Bitch, the Dancing Cat. And it stars Willem Dafoe as the titular hero of the piece, of the hour. Brendan Fraser is a lonely man. He works in Wendy's serving burgers to teenagers, and he is like 50. He has recently split up from his long-term girlfriend, who has dumped him for not being sensitive. So he decides to fill the void in his life, the lonely void in his life, by buying a cat. He goes to the pet store, and in the pet store, obviously, Mr. Miyagi is there, played by Danny DeVito, who says, "Hey, I'm Mr. Miyagi, and I got a cat for ya." And Brendan Fraser says, "How did you know I was a cat?" And he points at his nose and goes, "It's my little secret, but I'm Asian and wise. And that's not racist, because it's a positive trait. Ching Chong Chinaman."
You can't say that afterwards. You can't declare your lack of racism and then say Ching Chong Chinaman.
No, because that makes it okay.
Because he already
said it's not racist. And that gives you license to say anything.
It was a preemptive, not racist.
Exactly. This isn't racist, Ching Chong Chinaman. I eat half of these cats. And Brendan Fraser looks at the camera and says, just to confirm, this isn't racist. It's what we call satire. So anyway, Danny DeVito says, "Get this cat. It's purple." And sure enough, there's a purple cat there. I don't know how dangerous it is to spray paint a cat purple.
Very for the cat?
I've done it. So we can tell studios we've already got the purple cat. It's okay. They just need to help us with the CGI. Because no sooner does Brendan Fraser get it home, does the cat go, "Hey, you!" And Brendan Fraser looks down and, well, what do you know? It's Willem Dafoe's face on the cat, on the purple cat, Willem Dafoe's purple cat face. A bit like the Cheshire Cat, but totally not the Cheshire Cat. Brendan Fraser says, "Who are you? Are you the Cheshire Cat?" And Willem Dafoe says, "No, I'm not the Cheshire Cat. I'm Ass Bitch, the Dancing Cat, you silly poop dick." And Brendan Fraser says, "What did you call me?" "I called you poop dick. Get used to it, kid. Now I'm gonna teach you about love.
Whoa.
And your girlfriend will date you again, because that's how it works. Now give me some cat food, poop dick." And Brendan Fraser goes and gets some, cat food, Meow Mix, and puts it in a bowl, and he goes, "Not that, stupid poop dick! Get me some sausages, breakfast sausages!
He hasn't even
Ah!
started dancing yet. He's very presumptuous.
I'm that bitch, the dancing cat. I want some goddamn sausages.
Has he been dancing and I just didn't catch
No,
that part? No, okay.
it's just a normal cat that we filmed walking around and we've awkwardly photoshopped. Or like blue screened Willem Dafoe's face hovering in front of it. Just so that we know that the head is on the cat. I'm the dancing cat. These are some great sausages that I'm eating with a knife and fork. I haven't been able to train the cat to eat with a knife and fork. I've just had to film the cat walking around near a knife and fork on the floor with some sausages. But I think the audience will go with it.
I think the audience will go with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, the next door neighbor, the evil Weird Al Yankovic, played by Weird Al Yankovic, is holding a glass up to the wall his next door through the partition wall. He's holding a glass, listening to everything, and he says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! It's got a talking cat in there. That's gonna fetch me a fine price at the talking animals auction tomorrow." So he goes and tries to kidnap the cat. So he knocks on the door of Brendan Fraser's house, and Brendan Fraser opens it, and Weird Al Yankovic says, "Excuse me! I am a stranger who you don't know. Can I come in?" And Brendan Fraser says no. And he says, "Well, tough!" And he sprays mace in Brendan Fraser's eyes and pushes him to the floor and runs in with a big net and says, "I'm gonna kidnap you, so-called ass bitch, the dancing cat." And Willem Dafoe says, "I'm ass bitch, the dancing cat. And you have no head!"
What? He does have a head.
And Weird Al Yankovic goes, "What? But I do have a head!" Oh! And then his head falls off.
Whoa.
And he falls down dead, blood everywhere.
Oh my God.
Brendan Fraser gets up and says, "Oh my God, ass bitch the dancing cat, you've saved me." And Willem Dafoe says, "I'm ass bitch the dancing cat. You best bury that body or you'll be wanted for murder." So Brendan Fraser buries the body in the backyard and no one ever speaks of it again, and it doesn't come up at all in the rest of the film. After that point, Brendan Fraser needs to go to the toilet and says, "Oh my God, I need to shit." So he runs into the bathroom, the door's open because there's just a cat in there, he doesn't care. And he starts screaming, "Oh my God, I'm shitting penises. Penises are coming out of my ass."
Oh no.
And Willem Dafoe walks
Is he
in.
really?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe walks in and says, "Hey kid, guess what? I'm ass bitch, the dancing cat. And I said you were a poop dick!" And Brendan Fraser shouts, "Oh my God, you're right. There are so many penises coming out of my anus right now. And now I know the meaning of love."
Love? I thought he was going to pick up on the fact that ass bitch is actually a magical cat. Causes trouble. Kind of like Leprechaun.
No, he has taught him the meaning of love.
Where? When? What?
As you felt those penises slalom out of your ass. That's what love feels like.
Like
It
pooping?
feels like millions of dicks coming out of your asshole. And it's good, but kinda scary. And also there is cum. And pre-cum.
Oh no. Why is there
It's
that?
upper Brendan Fraser's character. Oh, get him, slugger. And then Brendan Fraser waddles out of the house. Trousers still out round his ankles. He waddles out, and penises are just flopping out of his ass. And he runs to the airport and screams, my girlfriend, my girlfriend. I understand now." He runs to the airport, and just as Deborah Messing is about to get on the plane, Brendan Fraser still, like, just half naked and just penises falling out to a silly degree. He just shouts, "Girlfriend character, I understand the meaning of love now. I am shitting out penises." And Deborah Messing says, "Well, now you do understand, and now we are girlfriend and boyfriend again." And she tears up her airline ticket that cost her $800 and hugs him and they are now in a relationship again. And then Deborah Messing just turns around, winks to another cat that's in the corner, an orange cat with Val Kilmer's face that says, "Don't mention it." And then the credits roll.
Ugh. Are there still penises? Just are they like alive, or are they just a dead, like a corpse's penis coming out of a man's? Because they must be his genetic code.
Yeah, they just flop out like uncooked salami.
Ugh, that is gross.
That was beautiful.
It wasn't.
Now I understand the meaning of love.
No, you don't. It's it was it was fun to imagine. Whenever you talk about something in the beginning of the show, I think about it later. And I was imagining Queen's "I am immortal, I have inside me blood of kings" as Brendan Fraser was running with the penises coming out of his back end.
Yeah. While Willem Dafoe it keeps cutting back to him while the Queen music is playing. It's really disjointed because the music stops when it's on Willem Dafoe and it just keeps cutting back to him every 6 seconds. And then cutting back to Brendan Fraser with "I am immortal, I am immortal," and then it cuts to Willem Dafoe who just says, "The penises are cold! Penises are cold! I am really fucking cold!"
That would be I'd watch it, yeah.
My delicious crisp Coca-Cola, and you too may understand love.
You have it's weird because I think I like weirder things than you do, but you are weirder than me, I think. At least your ideas are.
Oh.
You can really I can think of some pretty every once in a while. Like I have a idea as weird as yours maybe once a month. And you have them just all day and night. You just wake up thinking of these things and just talking to your friends. Like, oh, I'm just talking to my friends about a thing. Oh, suddenly talking about Jonathan Holmes talking to children about showering.
Yeah.
Talking to children about showering. Yeah, the show.
Yet you watch films like weird Japanese horror films where
oh yeah,
shit in Frankenstein's mouth or something.
I watch movies that are like you. And you, I don't know if you do anything that's like me other than just think about me.
And I am movies that
that I watch.
So in a way, we are like opposites attracting.
Like Paul Abdul's music video with MC Scat Cat?
We are both Paul Abdul, yeah.
We might be, yeah. We're both just trying, just making our way in the big city, doing our best to find happiness and love and friendship.
Just two girls on a night on the town. Put on your mesh tank top.
Yo, motherfucker.
On a mesh tank top, anyway.
Mesh tank top? People are talking to me about that still. Yep. You started a thing again. Enriching my life.
I photoshopped your head onto a mesh tank top.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
My immediate thought was, oh, I'm not in that kind of shape anymore.
It was quite muscular, the body I found. So that's how I see you all the time, in my mind.
Good. Continue.
Yeah.
It's nice to think that someone thinks I'm not yuck. Yeah.
Mesh tank top.
Have we talked about Randy Macho Man Savage on the show before?
Several times. I believe we once talked about him getting a copy of Skyrim and pooping through the hole in the TV.
I've been thinking about him again. He's got this YouTube video, stop me if you've seen it, where he just keeps saying, "Ooh, the cream rises to the top. Cream rises." And he just pulls out little coffee creamers out of nowhere. He just pulls them out of thin air at least 4 times. He balances one on his head. Nothing means nothing. Nothing means nothing, Macho Man. Oh, yeah. Cream rises to the top. And it's made me want to just think of things for him to say all the time now.
Is he just... is he literally talking about cream rising to the top?
No, unknown. Unknown. Yeah, Mean Gene Okerlund is there going, well, Randy Macho Man, it's what happened between you and Honky Tonk Man in the Intercontinental Championship? He goes, oh no, the cream rises to the top. It rises right to the top. Just saying it over and over. It's really amazing. It's like 2 minutes. You should look it up on YouTube. It's Randy Macho Man Savage, Nothing Means Nothing. That's
Huh.
the title of the video. So now I'm just thinking about him coming up to me and going, oh, the cheese comes out of the trees. Doesn't the cheese just comes right out? Oh, yeah. Just, or, oh, I shat on a hat. Or whatever. Just rhymes. Anything that rhymes. I want him to say them to me like all day.
I would love an audio tape that people can put in before they go to bed of you being Macho Man, saying wrong platitudes.
I'm willing to do it. My voice was hoarse. When I was driving to work, I was pretending to be Big Ange and Randy Macho Man Savage to amuse myself for my hour-and-a-half long commute. And it doesn't get old. He's just an American classic. He's better than me and just about anyone I've ever met. He's amazing. So good. He had a white beard right before he died, too. I was watching more videos. He did a video game advertisement, actually, and he came out with a white beard and a black everything else, and he'd never looked better. If I look that good before I die, I'll be grateful.
I do like the guys who, as they age, find a way to make it look really good on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bruce Willis has done that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm most complimented when people say I am the video game journalism version of Bruce Willis.
You are, in a way.
I've heard that before.
But I prefer to call you the video game Spruce Penis.
Something else I thought about talking about, but maybe we shouldn't. You guys might know what I mean. Another video game blog, one of our respected competitors or colleagues or compatriots in video game blogging, wrote an article about a kind of high-profile video game developer and have gotten in a public fight about it on Twitter. And I just can't believe this is happening. I don't know, it might get us in trouble. I can just stop talking about it right there. I leave it up to you guys, the administrators of Destructoid, to tell me what you think.
I am physically holding my lips shut.
Yeah.
It's amazing what's going on there. And I'll just leave it at that, I guess.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is pretty. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it can unfold further.
Jonathan,
I don't think this conversation can.
I know how you can use the conversation
Yes.
between Kamiya and Kotaku.
Oh, you're
Let's
willing
just put
to
it
reveal
out
that?
there.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, listeners will wonder what's up.
I'll leave it up to the
I'm not
administrators.
going to opine on it. I'm not
Okay.
going to, talk about the specifics, but basically, Kotaku upset Hideki Kamiya. It is Hideki, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
The guy from Platinum Games, Hideki, the Platinum Games guy. He upset him, and he basically asked Luke Plunkett whether he eats shit. That's the bottom line.
I could be wrong about this, but just in case, I'll try to clarify. I believe Luke Plunkett asked Hideki Kamiya, did you read the article that we wrote about you, or are you just complaining about it before you've even read it? And Hideki's response was, do you eat shit?
Okay, so all right. I mean, I doubt this is what this is, but is this one of those situations where someone says, "Does a bear shit in the woods?" Like,
I think it was more implying like I would no sooner read your article than you would eat a poo. And I don't need to read it to know that a poo is not edible. That's how I took it.
That's one way of taking it.
Mm.
But Jonathan,
Yes.
oh god.
I take it as an open challenge.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. Boston is a great place to prove Japanese developers wrong.
What?
That's
Prove
just
them
a
wrong in what?
fact. You look it up on Wikipedia. Or the Podtoid Wikipedia in about 24 hours. Boston is a great place, proven by science, to answer the challenges of Japanese developers. Now, I'm not in Boston. Conrad's not in Boston. You, Jonathan, are in a perfect position to film yourself eating your own feces, or your dog's feces, sending it to Kamiya and saying, nope, but I do. At which point you will become the world's most famous game journalist, and Conrad and I can ride your coattails.
I will become the most famous game journalist.
You'll be the man who ate shit for justice.
Justice being right being done.
Eating shit for justice.
Like ethical and moral.
You could
right.
form a movement. Eating shit for justice.
Was that a play on words? Form a movement?
Oh, it is now.
It is now.
Join our brackets, bowel brackets movement. Eating shit for justice. Fiat Jonathan Holmes. Bring me your shit. Donate to the cause.
I have to eat other people's feces as well?
Our boy Jonathan.
Ugh.
I'm pitching this now to, when I ask for charity tax exemption. By way of the Sterling Foundation, obviously. Conrad as treasurer. Join our bowel movement for the cause.
What's the cause?
By our illustrious leader, Jonathan Holmes.
To prove Japanese developers...
John Lennon once said bed peace. He would lie around in bed all day like a lazy fuck, doing nothing, and that somehow would stop war. Well, obviously it didn't. Where he said, give peace a chance, we say, give piss a glance.
Just a glance? A glance? I'm sorry.
Because Jonathan will also be downing some pee.
I don't get to just glance at it. I have to drink it.
Just some premium dick soda to wash down this oily chunder.
So everyone else just glances at me drinking other people's pee.
Give piss a glass. There we go.
Glass.
Let's say glass. Give piss a glass, as people in Boston would say. Give piss a glass.
So piss needs a glass. So I would give it
you
one.
can drink it with dignity. You don't want to go straight from the faucet. That would be no dignity.
Is that a penis?
Yeah. My penis and others and my friends. No. What will happen is you will sit at a table with a kerchief around your neck, napkin, with a drawing of a lobster on it, like in cartoons. You'll have a knife and fork. And people from around the world, in the spirit of coming together for a good cause, each have a plate of fresh shite.
Everyone does.
Everyone who cares, everyone who's joined the. I burped when I talk. That's gross.
Have you joined? Who?
Of course.
All right.
I'm the biggest donator.
But you have the plate, but you're not going to eat from the plate. You're saying.
No. We're going to give the plate to you.
Oh.
You are the John Lennon of this. You are the John Lennon. You're the John Lennon of eating poop.
That's not who I am.
It is. Don't you want tax exempt status? No taxes, Jonathan. Think about it. You can buy the Porsche television for our backyard.
I could finally afford it.
For my backyard. And you can come round and watch it whenever you like. So anyway, we will film you eating various piles of feces. Put them on the internet with different messages attached, like "Hey Iraq, sort it out," or or child slavery. Eat shit. Brackets like I am doing it.
Wait, I'm insulting them by telling them to do something that I willingly do?
Yeah. Because you think you are so committed to the idea of child slavery eating shit that you too will eat shit to show that you are serious. Would I be eating shit if I didn't think child slavery should eat shit? You say between mouthfuls.
That would be really gross.
And in fact, for that one, to make it extra poignant, you can eat baby poop straight out of the diaper.
Eee. I've heard it's not as gross.
There you go. It'll taste like apples.
Yeah, I've heard it's sometimes not fully digested,
Yeah, it
which
just
makes it.
comes out as baby food.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Rumors.
So just
Just
think of it as that. Just delicious, nutritious baby food that's been squozen out of a baby's hole.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
It's great.
That's not great. It's terrible. It's funny you would mention it though, because my dog wants to eat poop all the time. Rabbit poop, cat poop, other dogs' poops, and my dog's fine. Dogs can really get away with it. I don't know if people can though. I've heard bad things about people that eat a lot of poop.
And if the dog's fine, you should be okay.
Do you think if I quickening the dog, I'm trying to tie this together for the listeners so they can have some cohesion in their Podtoid.
They don't like that.
No, I guess they don't.
They hate that.
I tried to make the show more cohesive for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Eat poop. Why not eat poop? That's the question on everybody's lips.
I won't do it. When do you want to do? Speaking of questions.
Yeah.
Cohesion. Cohesed it. I cohesed it. People want to ask us questions.
Let's have some questions.
They've been emailing them to me all week. And private message. Don't send them via private message, guys. Not good, because I can't have the Gmail open or Destructoid open while I'm doing the show. It'll slow down the stream. I can barely keep Twitter open, so don't do it. Game God Trey has been asking for days what we think of visual novels as games. He really wants to know what we think of it. He's feeling it hard. Game God Trey.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
You're writing a text adventure.
But and yes, and this is something that has to be, I think, considered, is the distinction between a flowchart versus a game. And which is what I think it would have to depend on a case-by-case basis, obviously, whether or not I would consider some to be more game-like than others. But it's not. Games, to me, you are making choices, even if they're moment-to-moment choices that affect the long-term viability of your continued play or your eventual success or failure. And so, yes, they are games. I think they're very simple games.
If
by
you
and large.
consider success getting to see the whole story as it was pre-written, and you're not really contributing to how it comes together, but I succeeded in figuring out that puzzle. I get a little bit of story as a reward. And I suppose, that's one way to be rewarded in a game, to be told a story by the game. It seems fine. It's similar to how we were talking before about graphics. I care so much about specific style of graphics and illustration over kind of virtual sculpture and polygon models. I consider them more of a 3D art form than a 2D art form. I prefer 2D art in general. That's something that I'm really excited about, and it's a reward for me to just show me a new character design moving around. That'll get me to keep playing a game. For some people, story is that reward. But
and I think for those people, your graphics thing, I understand that. But boy, I just feel sorry for the people for whom the story is the big thing.
Well, sometimes the stories are so bad.
They're starving. Like, it is a desolate wasteland in video games.
They're so
just
often
go read
so
a book.
poorly.
Just go read a book.
Sometimes they're great. I've been playing some Virtue's Last Reward as I drift off to bed, and it's a great story so far. Characters are interesting. It's not like Shakespeare or anything, but it's interesting and likable. It's charming. Phoenix Wright, I can play those games just to see how the story unfolds. But I also love the character designs. It's, again, sort of a graphics reward. When I unlock a new animation in a Phoenix Wright game, I get all excited to see them get all stressed out on the stand. Like, oh, what good animating. I love those graphics, guys. Oh, just thinking about graphics, getting all happy about it. I'm going to go back and play those games. Yeah, how about you, Jim?
Yep.
And this is before I've even asked for questions. We've been asked that question. And another question by Jay Solomon, who is Sir J the First on Twitter. Oh, I think we already talked about this, actually. He wanted to know what our expectations are for Pokemon X and Y. We more just heard me complain about the graphics. But do you have expectations, Jim and or Conrad?
I expect that it will be a role-playing game where you are in a world where magical animals and people inhabit side by side. And you are starting your trial as a Pokemon trainer.
Uh-huh.
And a professor gives you 3 Pokemon, one of 3 that you can choose. A fire one, or a greeny one, or a wet one. And you can pick one of those and go off and collect more Pokemon and defeat gym leaders for badges. And then there are some bad guys, and you fight them as well. And then there are some legendary Pokemon
Sure.
that
Maybe
you
one or
can
two.
get for good battles.
And searching, just walking in grass.
And just walk around in grass and pick them up, why don't you? And then you can keep playing with your friends, online or off.
People are gonna... It's a fine line. It's different for everybody. If they change Street Fighter too much, Street Fighter fans would stop playing it. But if they don't change it enough, people don't feel like they need to buy a new one. It's different for everybody where that line is.
And where Pokemon is concerned, it's very much a matter of creating new audience, because people outgrow Pokemon all the time, and I know you're not one of them, and I know that the diehard, over 16, Pokemon fans out there, you're gonna live that life to the very end, and God bless you.
Well, I may have outgrown it this time. This may be where I fall off the Pokemon.
It outgrew you, Jonathan.
But
Maybe
for
it did.
One of you that is lost, they're gonna pick up 100 slobbering 8-year-olds who are going to then play Pokemon for another 10 years.
And people come back to it too. I know a lot of people that
Yep.
loved Red and Blue. I didn't particularly like Red and Blue personally. I started on Gold and Silver. Oh, and I hated the card game and the anime so much when I was younger. I was grumpier then. But then, yeah, I picked up then, and I haven't really got sick of it since. Other people loved it Red and Blue, and then got sick of it on the Game Boy games, picked it up again on the DS. So people coming to it and going to it. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, I was that way round. I got Red and Blue, skipped Gold and Silver the first time round, and then got Ruby and Sapphire.
What'd you think?
What?
Ruby and Sapphire. Like it?
Right?
Yeah, pretty good. 2 really skilled... that I'm privileged that these dudes even know who I am and talk to me on the internet. 2 really good sprite artists that I look up to. Joachim Sandberg, who you know, Jim, you know him too, Conrad, and Paul Veer. Paul Veer did the art on Super Crate Box and a bunch of other great games. They immediately told me that they were excited for the new direction. They're like, "Oh, good, no more of that shitty pixel art in black and white. That sucked. The animation was terrible," because they're so good at animating sprites that when they saw Pokemon Black and White, they just saw it as a shoddy, substandard product. They might as well move on to polygons if they're going to do that bad of a job. So, pretty interesting. Yeah, they're expecting good things from Pokemon X and Y, from what I gather. Keith Lamberton, who is at Knight814, asked a related question. What would we like to see in terms of new forms or evolutions of Pokemon? Anyone know or care? I'd like to see a new nose pass. I would love a game that was just all nose passes, actually. It's non-stop nose pass. So good. Such a good design.
I would like to see Super Ekans, and for it to be every Pokemon.
You too, yeah.
I would like there to be a legendary Pokemon that was thought to have been killed 2,000 years ago, but has a dedicated group of believers in this legend of its existence that, or expect that it's going to return at some point and, wipe all the other Pokemon off the earth. Like a doomsday Pokemon cult. That's what I'd like.
They have, I don't know if you've played all the games, but they go towards that sometimes and then walk away. Like Diamond and Pearl, Arceus is like the god of Pokemon. He's sort of like a Jesus deer with a golden halo. And
I think that was the last one I played.
Yeah. Black and White was, what was that about? That's more about relationships and not treating Pokemon like not being racist, basically, against Pokemon. Weird. They call it Black and White, and it is kind of about racism. If you think of Pokemon as a race of human beings that are just funny looking and can't talk right. More questions are coming in. How are you? Asks Big Dog with a Hat, otherwise known as Giant Ronson. How are you? How have you guys been? I don't even know. Conrad, are you doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right. Yeah.
Better than average? Better? Worse? Average?
Pretty normal. Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty normal. Jim, normal? Better? A little better than average. You've had some successes lately.
Yeah,
You've had the
things have been
debut
doing well.
of your new movie show. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good. A little nervous with some big plans that I'm doing. It's always nervous when you have an idea that's safely in your head and no one can touch it and take it away from you and tell you it's shit.
Yeah.
And then once it's out in the real world, it's scary. It's been like that for a while with a few things I've done. But so far, the people I've showed it to have liked the stuff. So looking good.
That's great. So you've got a kind of a fear / anxious enthusiasm expectation of potential success going.
Nervous excitement.
Nervous excitement. What a more succinct way of putting what I just said. Ben Perlee, our old friend.
Oh, hello.
Says, say hi. So hi, Ben.
Hello.
We ate burritos together, and he was so. Speaking of nervous enthusiasm, he was so excited back when I first met him. For those who don't know, he worked for Destructoid for a bit, and he's gone off to do other things. I haven't actually kept up. I don't know what he's up to recently. He's a great guy.
He's in PR.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's a young stud. Talk about 2D games and why they last longer than 3D games, says Josh DeRocher. I don't know if they do. I don't know if 2D games do last longer than 3D games. I think that...
Does he mean they age better?
I think so. And I feel pretty strongly about that whole term, age better. And this is going to annoy you, maybe, Jim. And if it does, I apologize. Maybe you too, Conrad.
Bracing myself!
Yeah, don't be annoyed. I think that the term is bad to say games age or not, because they don't. They stay exactly the same. We age, and our perception of the game changes. So, in general, I would like it if people projected, if people stopped projecting their own perceptions on the game and saying it's the game that they're annoyed with, when it's actually more about their connection to the game. And if they looked at themselves a little more, they might figure out why they like and what they don't like a little bit.
No. Look, okay, human beings are self-centered, but not self-critiquing.
I wish they were. It's so fun. I love self-critiquing, personally. The more a video game can help me...
You have to assess things that you don't like about yourself, and nobody likes to think about things that they don't like, unless it can be blamed on someone else.
Maybe people should just like things about themselves, regardless of what the standards are in society. Like, who cares if, sometimes I'm a little snooty? Maybe people don't like it. I don't know, and I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but yeah, I can think that I'm pretty smart sometimes. I think we all can. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, whereas my pretension and arrogance I personally find to be an incredibly awful character trait and
I don't
disgusted
know
by myself on a regular basis. So I don't like to think about it.
I love your confidence, and you too, Jim. I love it when you're all confident and you're saying, "Here I go." I hope you never stop liking that about yourself.
I've never said "Here I go."
You should. Here I go. Just getting all excited. It's fun.
Here we go.
It's actually, I was thinking of something much worse, Conrad. This is another thing that's kind of like Jim Sterling that I enjoy, that is not Jim Sterling, and Jim Sterling might not enjoy himself. Jim, And Conrad, have you guys ever seen Ping Pong Club?
No.
Nope.
It's a Japanese anime
Of course it is.
about a high school group that plays ping pong. It's actually one of the influences on Teenage Pokemon, just showing teenagers.
Before you go any further, how many episodes is this?
I have no idea. I know like 3 episodes of Ping Pong Club by heart, and then the rest I just haven't even bothered watching yet.
Okay, are there more than 25?
Probably.
Fuck it, I don't care.
There's an episode of Ping Pong Club where there's this character. He's really confident and he doesn't talk much, but he knows what he likes. And he's a little chubby and he wears a little hat. And one day he comes home from school and buys various meat products. And people are like, oh, what is he doing with all those meat products? His friends are spying on him for some reason. And he goes into an alleyway and goes, here we go. And then just strips completely naked and covers himself with meat products. And then all the neighborhood dogs run up and just start licking and nibbling the meat off of him. He's like, oh yeah, oh thank you to the dogs in the alley. This is just a show that was on in Japan. It's completely naked.
Yeah, that's
Ping pong
me.
club. I know, I'm not saying it is you, but it's like one of the ideas you might have.
It is like they just were watching me.
I saw the show long before we ever met. Probably 2002. That and Genki Clinic. Oh, Genki Clinic, which is another. That's actually pornographic.
Yeah, that one I've seen.
Yeah, that's silly.
That one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, not sexual at all, but definitely. I mean, it's
Well,
not
it's sexually themed, but it's definitely
right.
not. It's not erotic.
That's what I
it's
meant.
a comedy.
Yes, indeed. That's a silly show. Makes
It's
fun
like
of
a
sex.
follies thing. It's kind of. I hesitate to call it cute because a penis with a mustache is not exactly like
And glasses, yeah.
right. And glasses and a mustache. Not. I wouldn't call it cute, but there's a certain weird charm to it.
Have you seen that one, Jim?
No.
There's a doctor named Dr. Genki, I believe, or Ogenki, and Genki means health in Japanese. And his head looks kind of like a penis, like his hair shape. And when his penis is unveiled, and it's like 4 feet long and just as thick as an oak.
Wonderful.
It also, the head of his penis looks exactly like his head. And they're both like, like very jovial Santa type characters. Ho, 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 about life.
Now I can't not see it.
Yeah, you really should give it a viewing. It's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, it's not top class production values, but it's not like other things for sure. Whoa, these questions are really coming in.
Oh god.
Oof, I don't know how many we can do. Do you consider Dark Souls Demon Souls a power fantasy game? Asks Chicken Chungus. Chicken_Chungus. Leveling up stats, but also tricky and difficult at times. I consider Dark Souls and Demon Souls to be a false sense of achievement fantasy game. Not so much power, but you really feel like you pulled something off in that game. And you really... I don't even know if false is the right word. It is a kind of achievement.
Yeah, no, you achieved something. You're just not, it may not be an achievement that other people would consider meritorious, but it's still an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Sure, but does anything have any value?
Power fantasy is about...
Many things have practical... No, hang on.
Sorry, Jim.
Many things have practical value. Curing cancer has practical value. You could spend
Ralph.
your time researching and curing cancer. But you're not. You're playing a video game. And that's fine. I'm not holding it against you. But let's not pull this shit that nothing is value.
Well, existentially speaking, Conrad.
You know what? Can we talk about his anus existentially? Because... because technically speaking, that doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. That's the thing about this whole Podtoid thing. Podtoid will live on far longer than I do. It matters more than my own life in many ways. My life, maybe 60 more years to go if I'm lucky. Podtoid forever. Yeah. I keep that in mind. But I'm sorry, you were going to say about Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Power Fantasy, Jim?
I was just going to say, power fantasy. I mean, you're looking at Kingdoms of Amalur, you're looking at your Skyrim. It's about becoming the thing that nobody can touch. It's
Mm,
about eventually working to become the thing that people are afraid of.
mm,
And I don't think that's ever been really the point of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. I mean,
mhm,
it's certainly about feeling proud, about, I guess, feeling powerful in a way, at least feeling like you've accomplished a thing, or you're determined, and, go me, this is fantastic, I finally beat this guy. But it's not about feeling like, I worked really hard to get into a position where I can dominate this guy. It's more about, I just got out of this narrow fight with this guy, and it's a different. It's probably the same feeling of elation, but a very different method of getting to it. So I
mm.
wouldn't say it's a power fantasy at all. That's more about games that are geared towards eventually making a powerful character, which isn't really the point of the Souls games.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. It's similar to what you get out of Super Meat Boy or a really challenging old school arcade platformer, except those games, I, for me anyway, Super Meat Boy is about achievement, but also about just learning how to steer an interesting character, like learning how to drive an interesting vehicle. Dark Souls, Demon Souls, I don't get that much from them. It's more about planning it out, but the actual act of controlling the character, I personally haven't gotten much fun out of that part of it. Just kind of a means to an end. Whoa, 34 new questions this week.
Jesus,
I know, are we getting more popular, or do people just like us more?
who
Like it's
knows?
similar. I don't know if there's more people that like us, or the people who like us more than they used to.
Well done, them.
Stealth just says nada. He's got no questions for us, but he wanted me to know. He's
Oh yeah, he needs you to know how little he cares.
but he likes me now. Stealth and I are getting along great, and that's good.
You open the door.
Someone named Mrs. Carriot says, "Can I have my husband back? I'm hungry." Frowny face. That's Jim's wife,
Yes.
for those who don't know. I would love to answer all of the 30, how many more? 39 more questions that just came in, but Jim needs to go and eat with his wife, and I need to go eat with my wife. And Conrad, who knows what he's doing?
I need to
Probably.
go avoid my wife.
Oh, it's sad. So many fun questions came in. Thank you for asking them, everybody, and I'll try to, I don't know, do better next time, I guess. Should we say the things that we're doing and then stop the show?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We gotta go. Sorry about that. I know people really like sending in questions, but we are running on a bit late today, so.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's partially me starting late. It's been rough at work lately. Not gonna lie. Good times though. People getting something out of it, but had to keep some people from punching old ladies. That's always a surprise.
As you do.
Yeah, I didn't think they would be wanting to punch them, but they sure were. Do you want to plug your stuff first?
Yeah, go on. What are we doing? Over on escapistmagazine.com, I've got 2 shows now. Movie Defense Force came out. First one is about Alien 3. It's pretty cool. Got good reactions to that, so you can go look that up. Also, my other show, my longer running show, the Jimquisition, that went up on Monday. The latest episode is called Desensitized to Violence, which is it kind of covers some of the Sandy Hook stuff, but in general, the idea that video games can make us desensitized to violence in the real world and then affect us there. And yeah, that's to say the reaction to that one has been incredible is to put it lightly. It is the most popular video I think I've ever done. It's really gotten insane amount of traction and links, and people have been talking about it all week. So definitely do please check that one out. Otherwise, keep an eye on Destructoid. I think January 14th, the DMC Devil May Cry review will be going up. I wrote that review, finished that off this morning, and I'm keeping a finger near that popular Twitter block button we mentioned earlier for the day that review goes up, because no matter what I think about it, it's not going to be pretty for me. I'm not looking forward to dealing with that, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be okay.
Maybe. I don't want to lead you to reveal anything about the review. I'll just tell you, I expect that if you don't like it, people won't be that mad at you.
Yeah,
But if you do like it,
yeah, I'm worried either way.
Yeah, I
mean, I know what I think about it, but I'd be worried either way. But then again, who knows? Maybe people have mellowed out. I was dreading fucking Black Ops 2, and that went okay. So maybe it'll be fine. I don't like big fights over reviews. I really don't, despite what people think. I really don't enjoy
not a
it.
Fighter.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's good times.
I meant to say, before I forget, Kevin Cassidy, otherwise known as Raw Meat Cowboy, he sent me a special email, as many people do, that he just wanted me to tell you something, Jim.
Yeah.
He said, wonderful job on that Jimquisition. Really knocked it out of the park. He was very happy with it. He was very impressed.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. I like going to Nintendo. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, he's a passionate dude.
Yeah, I got a lot of good messages about that video, so thank you to everybody who sent me stuff about that.
Oh, and I guess me.
Yeah, what are you up to, Jonathan Holmes?
Well, Sup Holmes happened on Sunday with Bo Blythe. What a fun young man he is. He did Samurai Gun, which is up for a IGF award for
what
excellence
a
in
young
design,
man he is.
He is, but boy, it's weird how he likes GoldenEye and I don't. Other than that, we were like the same guy in terms of perspective on things. It was almost annoying. I was annoyed for the listeners who were just hearing him say stuff and me saying, exactly, that's what I've been saying, and then us just liking each other for an hour and a half. But he's a smart, interesting dude. I obviously like him. And I think you could learn a thing or two about making video games or just knowing about the video game design process if you were to watch that episode. He's just a nice guy too. So that's on iTunes now, and the rerun I think is on Podtoid TV. So you'd look up Sup Holmes for that with Bo Blythe of LA Death Disc.
Actually not on iTunes yet.
It will be soon though.
Should be tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it will be.
We had a little problem.
It
after the show.
Oh, yeah, I'm interested to hear. And even weirder this Sunday will be Jim Crawford, also known as Twinbeard. He did Frog Fractions, which is a video game that people really couldn't shut up about. And I honestly haven't totally gotten through it yet. It didn't impress me. It didn't impress me as much as I think it got built up too much. Like, oh my god, you have to play it. And then I played it. I'm like, I get it. It's like an educational game, but it's not. But maybe if I get through the whole thing, I'll see. Really,
have you? Did you at least get all your fruit that you need?
I don't think so. So
okay,
something happens, and then I was in space,
there's a trick. There's a secret. You have to get the dragon so that you can go into space. There's
something like that.
Yes, you're as soon as you can move. The game, because of the game's design and structure, you wind up moving left and right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just what you're thinking of doing because you're moving from one panel to another. Try moving down.
Huh.
You can move.
I should get into that Frog
and
Fractions.
It's going to totally change your perspective on the game.
Frog Fractions is something else.
You like it, Jim?
You
have no idea how weird it is. Not even like an inkling.
I saw a walkthrough. It's something. It turns into like a court drama eventually, or
it's just really fascinating to see. But what killed me about it was once you find that break point, once you realize you can go down, the game gives you no indication that you should, or that there's any reason for it whatsoever. You could sit there and grind out forever and never progress and get frustrated and quit. And I bet there's a lot of people that did it until they saw or someone told them or they just accidentally tripped over it. And the moment that happens, the entire thing shifts. It's
Well, I
really,
should come at it with an open mind and eat it up, Frog Fractions. You guys like it. I should like it too. Huh,
no, is it
crap, it's good.
overblown now? Maybe, I don't know. I
Maybe.
thought it
I'm
was
gonna...
a really cool experience when I played it.
Well, I will get back to it. Jim Crawford, he did that. He did Futile Tris, which I love. It's a new version of Tetris.
Except
And
Doodle.
well, so is regular Tetris if you think about it, but he drives home the futile aspect of puzzle games in general in a fun way. He makes video games about video games, I just noticed in talking about him, and makes them for people who are familiar with the language of video games but like to see it messed with in a fun way. So yeah, he'll be on this Sunday. I got to remind him. I bet he forgot. I will email him after the show's over and make sure he can still come on. And you can watch Teenage Pokemon if you want. You've probably already seen it if you're ever going to watch it at all. But when you watch it, the animators might get money. And I like them to not be poor. So you can watch it. One view is like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a cent. And enough of them, they're going to be able to get tacos for the weekend. So yeah, you can watch that. We're working on 3 episodes of that simultaneously. We have 3 different animators working on it and a 4th to start the Sunday. So hopefully there'll be more episodes out in February or March for that show. I think that's it for me. How about you guys?
I got a new office chat that's going to go up tonight.
Oh, cool.
Soon, hopefully. I just got it back, and I'm going to look it over and probably upload it right after this. And Jim was on that one. So Jim, there we talked a little bit about THQ and the Steam box, and so that was a good fun time. So you can be able to check that out. And other than that, God, I need to record a few more episodes of this new video series that I'm doing before I launch that, but I'm working on something a little more indie focused. So hopefully that'll premiere in February. But yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
Cool,
we did
cool.
it.
Yeah, we've done it. We got away with it again. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.